We are live, people. Welcome to the Hempibition show. This is Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific. Always, every single Thursday, coming to you live via Facebook, of course. And then we repurpose, as you guys know. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'll give you guys a few minutes to jump on, get settled, get a cup of coffee, light up that cigarette. Whatever you do, light up whatever you want and get cozy, get a cocktail, a cup of coffee, whatever gets you going. And we're going to have a cool conversation today. You're going to meet a badass fellow entrepreneur and fellow patriot, which I just learned about. And so my excitement just shot up a few notches. So we're going to have fun. What's up, Gene? Gervais? What's up, Gene? Kathy, hello. Good afternoon. Hemp. Hello, Beth. Always on point. Let's not forget the like. Yeah, I will. Yep. God, you're ahead of me, Beth. Maybe one day you can run this shit. Maybe you can take over the show. Chris Musacho, what's up, brother? Welcome. James, welcome. Brian, welcome. We got good people here. So I'll just give it another second here and we'll get through the Facebook stuff. I got to turn the little ding dong here off. Facebook's blowing up today. A lot of good stuff happening. Hello, Jennifer. Welcome. What's up, Madison? Pink Cowboy in the house, of course. Jeannie Parks. Hey, haven't seen you in because your freaking town got shut down there. We can't go to Vegas anymore. What is that about? Chop. Let's make this thing happen. Open up Vegas. Open Vegas. Angie, hello. Hello, Joanna. Hey, Joanna. At least we can talk here, Joanna. There was that little opportune moment. Hey, Mary. Welcome, everybody. Let's do this. So here's what we're going to do. Rhonda, welcome. So the first thing you want to do as we have this conversation today, remember that this is about producing income from home. That's what this whole show is about. It's called the Hempibition because we are in the hemp business and the hemp platform. So we deal with a bunch of hemp related products, CBD, all that fun stuff. We're a global system, a global company, and we literally help people around the world start a business from home. That's it. If you thought man, what's the magic behind this thing? This is the magic. That's all we got. We literally empower people globally to be able to produce residual income from home. So with what's happening today, people losing their jobs, people have gone broke, their businesses have suffered, brick and mortar suffered. Kids, for example, that are not going to go back to public school because of the communist agenda of wearing masks and they have to get tested for temperature, and people are wearing plastic hazmat suits. A lot of kids will be homeschooled. The mothers now, the fathers, whoever, will stay home and homeschool the kids, or at least be home for them, even if it's online. More and more opportunities for us to help people globally make a change, work from home, figure out how to literally every business that we do today, it's runnable. I don't know if that's a word, but we do everything through our phone. So I can be on any beach in the world and my business is growing. That's what we're preaching here. That's what we're talking about. So anybody having interest, man, I got to change my life. I hate my boss. I hate my job. I got to do something different. This is what the conversation is about. So with that said, right now, before we go any further, literally start tagging people, anybody that you know is hurting. And I don't care if they're in Zimbabwe and Kuwait and in Tuscany, if they're somewhere in Canada, Alaska, it doesn't matter. Tag them. If they're stressing out, what am I going to do? I got to find something different. This is the moment. Tag them below or click the share button, share it to to them. You can send it to Messenger, whatever. We want people to listen in on this conversation because the guest we have today will change your life. The story is phenomenal. And if he can do it, anybody can do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. You guys got to remember, 40 years ago, I didn't speak English. I was a freaking foreigner eating food out of trash cans. So if I can do it, you can do it. You got my point? So start tagging, start sharing, do a watch party. And you guys know the rules, right? You got to smash the heart button a lot, make it go out of style, make that heart hurt. And then you want to do comments. Comments are very, very important. So because we are where we are all over the place today, I'm trying to figure out who's who, but let's begin the commenting algorithm thing by just telling me where you're at, like what state, what country, anything. Just tell me where you're at. Drop it in the comments now. Let's do this. God bless you, Richard. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, because today, man, we need God more than ever. There's some evil shit in the world, so it's we got to pull together. So the more of us together fighting for God, the more we do. So with that said, I got my cup of coffee. Look, it's all about that bass, about that bass, about that bass. And it, you know, people are like, oh my God, it's marijuana. He's a stoner. It's hemp. Hemp doesn't get you high. It gets you healthy. How's that? So we got OC California. What's up, Jeffrey Moore? You're like 2 blocks from me, bro. Stop it. IE. Oh, I didn't know, Kathy, you're in IE. I'm not far from you. Very cool. New York, Illinois. Very cool. Florida, Netherlands. Erna. We got Netherlands. That is so freaking awesome. I love that. Wisconsin. Very cool. Back to Florida. Very cool. Where's the cowboy from? I saw Downey, Coral Springs, Oklahoma. Total badasses. Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Monterey, California. Oh, Monterey, California. Oh, I know Alice. Hi, Alice. Very cool. So let's do this, you guys. Thank you for playing along. It's all about the Facebook algorithm. The more we are involved together, the more people get to see the show and get information. Now, remember, we're doing this via Facebook Live, but the same identical content like this, this will be on the YouTube channel called The Hempibition. And this content will also be on our podcast platforms, iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, etc. And it's always a week out. So a week behind this show, all this stuff gets spread out everywhere. So please go to thehempibition.com. That's just being built. Sorry, go to the Hempibition YouTube channel and subscribe, whatever that's being built. So it's brand new. It's up and coming. But subscribe. I need subscribers in order to be able to get to 100 so I can have youtube.com/the Hempibition. Things you learn as you grow up, right? Okay, with that said, I want to introduce you guys to a new friend of mine. I don't know if you guys are ready for this, but we're about to bring in the muscle. And when I say the muscle, here's what's exciting about our business. I've never met this man ever before in my life, literally. But what's exciting about what we do is that we build teams, right? As we build teams globally, we now start working together, because that's how our business model works. Nobody's ever alone. We're always together as a team. I don't care if you're in Lebanon or in Paris, or it doesn't matter. We are a team, and thank God for this thing called social media and the internet, that we're able to connect with people from all over the world. So when you enter our business, we together go to work to make you successful. So for example, in his first month of our business, he was able to come in and crush what's called a 5K rank advancement. 5K is our first rank from entering the business. So once you start, you pop, you get involved, you get your products, you now start doing what you do. The first rank you want to hit is 5K. He did that in his first month. Other people don't do it as fast, but he came in with muscle. That's why I say I'm going to introduce you guys to the muscle. What I'm learning about this kid is that behind him, there's an American flag, which got me at boom. He's also a veteran, because I see right there, don't tread on me, to the other side. There you go. So we got ourselves a veteran. We have ourselves a husband. We have ourselves a father. We have ourselves a motivator, a public speaker, an entrepreneur, a network marketer, and last but not least, a patriot. And today we need each other more than ever. So with that said, I want to welcome to the show the one and only Mr. Christopher Celeste. Welcome to the Hempibition.
Thank you. I'm honored and grateful to be here, Andre. It's kind of crazy. You know, the marketing world to me is kind of a small. The whole world's pretty small, right? You know, 5 degrees of separation. But I've heard yours and your wife Tammy's name several times. We have friends in common. Oh yeah. This is actually the first time I've ever actually had to really get to speak to you directly. So it's so really cool stuff to finally actually get to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, it's cool, because it's otherwise it's like, you know, yeah, maybe I'll see you at convention, or I'll see you at an event or whatever. But to be able to do stuff like this, and then not only are we telling people's story, your story, but what's possible and how they can change their life. For me, that's why I love doing this show, just to be able to expose people like you and show others that, hey man, if you can do it, they can do it. So again, yeah, welcome. And I'm honored to meet you. Obviously, Aaron Rashkin. Is Aaron Rashkin your direct sponsor?
Yep.
Boom. Yeah, you're in phenomenal hands. And obviously he nominated you for the show here. So exciting stuff. So let's go back, I guess, before we get into like the business and how people can come in here and do all kinds of fun stuff like us. I want them to know you. Who are you? Let's go back to military. Why military? When did you get into entrepreneurship? Like, let's go there.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess to set the whole stage, I grew up in a really small town in the Catskill Mountains of New York for the first 17 years of my life.
Wow.
There wasn't much for an adult to do there. There was, go away to college. Basically, the only dream for everyone that I grew up with was getting the hell out.
Yeah.
Getting out of there. Right.
Yeah.
And for me, college wasn't something I was looking forward to at all. I did well in school. I graduated not top of the class, but I graduated with honors. I did really well. But for me, it just was boring. I just didn't like having to sit there and constantly have that beat into my head for memory purposes only, things I would never use again. And so for me, college just wasn't going to be a thing. So sitting in math class in my high school, 9/11 happened. And sitting in there, something happened inside of me. Something switched. And I went from wanting to be extremely wealthy. I wanted to be a financial advisor back then. That was my goal, my future. I switched to wanting to be a soldier. I switched to wanting to go kill the bad guy. I wanted to hurt the people who had hurt us. And it just so happened that my parents agreed to sign the waivers. So I ended up joining the Army at 17 years old, graduated, joined, and I was, on my way. I became a 19 Delta in the Army, which is a cavalry scout. And I was stationed at Fort Drum. And I was in the 371 Cav. I ended up deploying to Afghanistan with that unit. I won't go into the details there. Obviously, that's not for everybody. But, 8 months after I got there, finally, I had an injury. I sustained an injury that was severe enough that I actually flatlined. Wow. So I was medevaced from Afghanistan to Germany, where I was on life support for a week. They were about to fly my parents out. They didn't think I was going to make it. I pulled through. So when I woke up in Germany, the first memory I had was this like tube down my throat and trying to yank it out. And then them handing me a rotary phone and telling me dial home so they know you're okay. Meanwhile, I'm drooling with morphine from just being on life support and everything.
Wow.
So, I knew at that point my military career was done. Like I was done. I wasn't going to be able to do my job as a scout anymore. And that was basically the option. They were like, you can have a desk job or you can get out. And I had literally just watched 8 of my best friends lose their lives for our country. And I was like, you know what? Enough's enough. I am done. Let me out. And so I got out. Unfortunately, that's where the real struggle began. I was completely unprepared for the civilian world. I had no college experience. I had no business. I had nothing to fall back on. And I felt just like alone and abandoned, basically. And so, the VA had me on 11 pills a day to kind of deal with everything that had happened to me. And then some of those pills were just counteracting some of the side effects from the other ones. But still, I was taking 11 pills a day. And I turned into a miserable zombie and a junkie. And I lived a very self-destructive lifestyle for about almost a decade. And then finally, one day I woke up and I looked at myself in the mirror. I couldn't even recognize myself anymore. And I said, enough is enough. I called up my father and he brought me to rehab. And they, got me off the pills. They got me off of everything. And I have not touched a hardcore narcotic since. But that was like, now that I had my mind about me again and I could start thinking a little bit more clearly, I was still kind of stuck in this place where I was just, dealing with severe PTSD. I had a lot of things going on. And now I didn't have my coping mechanisms, the things I was using to escape. So it was hard times. I couldn't even go shopping. I couldn't go to Walmart by myself. My sister, my best friend were going grocery shopping for me because I couldn't do it. I would have complete nervous breakdowns. I would freak out. I would get violent. Just wasn't a good time.
Sure.
And for me, what ended up happening was my wife now, but she was my fiance back then. She was looking to further her education to get her chemical engineering degree. And we started to look for places to move so that she could do that. And we traveled around the US and Arizona ended up becoming the spot we chose to go to. And it was honestly one of the best decisions we ever made because unlike New York, where I was living, Arizona had a medical marijuana program.
Oh, interesting.
And so now I'm able to get off the prescriptions that I still need, that VA is telling me I need. And I'm able to get on to something that actually allows me to have a little bit more stability and control of my life. And that was really the beginning of me starting to figure out, like, hey, wait a second, I'm not as broken and as bad off as I think I am. A lot of what I was dealing with were side effects of medications, honestly.
Amazing. Wow. Yeah.
And it really was. And,
yep.
So for me, let me just take a sip.
Oh, take your time, brother. We have all the time in the world. That's what's cool. Take your time.
So, being able to move here and start getting my mind about me, it started to like stir in me that, hey, wait a second, maybe there's more to life than just collecting a disability check and feeling sorry for myself, right? There's more than having, every time I go into a public room, everyone's saying, oh, Chris, feel bad for that guy. You don't know what he's been through.
Right.
I didn't want that anymore. And then the line in the sand for me was my wife got pregnant with our first child. And it started, like, I started going deep inside and searching. I started figuring, like, where am I going to be? What kind of father, what kind of representation of a man am I going to be for this little boy? Am I going to be this broken thing who let life conquer him? Or am I going to step up and try to take my life back? And literally the day he was born, I'm sitting there holding him up. I started tearing up and I told myself, I was like, no matter what it takes, I'm going to do everything to provide the most amazing life for this little boy.
Nice.
And I ended up starting a mobile auto glass business here in Arizona with my best friend. And we did that for, I had no business experience. I had nothing going on for me at the time, but I had a drive, a passion for a better life. And so we started that business and we did really well for a few years. And it got to the point, though, for me, that in that kind of business model, there's no automation. And literally your time is still being traded for money.
That's right.
I'm still booking all the appointments. I'm still ordering all the glass. I'm still doing all the logistics for the routes. I'm still doing all of these things.
That's right.
And I'm not being able to spend time with my family. And it got to the point where my son actually walked into my office and said to me, Daddy, why don't you ever play with me?
Oh.
And 2-year-old boy walked in my office and literally flipped my world upside down.
Checkmate. Yeah, that's so good.
I was just like, where did I go wrong? And, we own our own home. I'm married. I have a beautiful family. I have my own business. Yeah. My family goes on vacations without me, but they get to go.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, where did I go wrong? And I think I lost you.
No, I'm here.
Can you still hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? I'm here.
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
I got a load screen on my side.
Can you hear me now? I'm good.
Having trouble connecting.
Hang tight. Just take your time.
Oh, it's mine. Can you still hear me?
Yeah. You're coming across loud and clear. It's all good.
Okay. So literally while I'm sitting there in my office, like bawling my eyes out, trying to figure out like, where did I go wrong? The music on YouTube that I had on switched over to an ad, and it was actually an ad about the world of freelance digital marketing and the amazing things that you can do with this skill set. And it immediately clicked for me personally. I'm already sitting at a computer. I'm already on the phone, doing all these things for business. Why not have a better return on my actual time and investment? Genius. And so I got really serious about taking on the skills of freelance digital marketing. And that company at the time, it was a big price tag. It was, in the 5 figures to get started. And so I had to take a loan from my sister to even put the down payment down to get started in this company. But I'll tell you right now, it's one of the greatest decisions I ever did, because it allowed me to take back my power and prove to myself what is possible leveraging the internet. Because I didn't believe it before. I saw people doing it, and I thought it was for like unicorns and leopards and mythical creatures could do it, right? Yeah. Not me. I can't do that.
That's right.
But it was kind of eye-opening, diving in and being able to see that I really could. And it completely changed everything for me. I gave up everything in my life besides my family to learn that education. For 4 straight months, all I did was learn, apply, and spend time with my family. And 4 months in, I started making a couple $1,000s a month. And I'm like, okay, we're on to something here. 2 months after that, one of the best things I ever did in my life was go to a personal development seminar. And I went to my very first one in January of 2018.
Wow.
In January of 2018, a lot of crazy things started happening for me. One, I broke free of, and I was still dealing with some PTSD back then. I've done a lot of work since then, but I was still dealing with some barriers, and that particular course, that particular 3-day event helped me break through them. And once I was able to break through them, it kind of just opened everything up for me. I started making more than 5 figures a month online after that, consecutively, all the way to the tune of $250,000 that year, my first year.
Nice.
So it was really, again, eye-opening for me. I'm like, oh, wow, this is possible. Like anything is possible. So I gave the auto glass business away. I pulled away from it, gave it to my business partner, and I went full-time online.
Wow.
And I did that, with passion and loyalty until that company no longer existed. That company ended up splitting and going under and no longer exists. So now I'm sitting here wondering what to do with myself. I now have a skill set, but where do I call home? What do I do?
Nice. Yeah.
And I've always had a really big passion to help my fellow veteran. I've always, most of my team right now are veterans. Most of the people I helped when I first got started, the first 600 people, most of those were veterans. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself,
cool.
like, I have a voice that I can use, that I have been using. What should I do? And so I decided that I was going to end up building and founded my own digital marketing education platform called the Digital Vetrepreneurs Initiative.
Okay.
And it still exists till this day. Round one kicked my butt, but I'm not done with the fight yet, right? I realized that as one man, something that large isn't sustainable by myself. And now it's time to regroup and come back in with a new strategy. Like I said, round one kicked my butt, but I'm going back for round two.
Nice.
But building that company and doing all of that, I dumped a lot of the money I had made into that company to make it something.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I was almost going to start giving from an empty cup. And I had to start take some real serious looks at myself and being like, why is this failing? Why isn't this hitting the expectations you've always wanted for it?
Right.
And for me, it came down to the fact that I removed myself from the front line. I was no longer leading from the front in the trenches with the people, navigating what's actually going on to teach them the most effective strategies. I was teaching them what I had already used, and the passion that I have talking to you right now just wasn't there. I didn't have it anymore. It got taken away when I stopped being. And so I went on a serious search at that point to figure out, what kind of product could I start promoting again so that I could have my passion, my fire, lead from the front, and then, have this education platform be everything the veterans deserve.
Right.
And I looked around for a while, and I just didn't see anything that really got me excited. And randomly at a friend's birthday party, I run into Aaron Rashkin.
Uh-oh. Trouble.
And we start talking to each other, and we realize we're both, entrepreneurs, leaders in our own rights. And he starts explaining to me about his CBD business, and it really piqued an interest in me. I had been battling with the CBD industry for quite a while, trying to find one that was consistent with its quality that I could rely on to really make sure that I could have a good quality life and not have a good week and then a bad week.
Yep.
And, when he started telling me things like, we have the hemp seal of approval, every single batch is third-party tested before it goes out to market. He was blowing my mind.
Yep.
And then when he told me it was grown right here in the good old USA, right in fields in Kentucky, I was like, okay, you got me. Let's get some more information. And, we didn't even finish that conversation that night. It was just a quick talk while we were having fun. And I actually ended up reaching back out to him much later to get his whole link and website and go through the whole process.
Got it.
And, that kind of brings us up to me getting started here at MDC.
So before we do that, so I guess, because you mentioned January 2018 was your first event. So is this world of public speaking and mentorship and coaching and everything that you do today, it's a couple of years old?
Correct. Yeah.
Like
just last year, I was able to travel to 4 different countries and speak. But before that, I had really bad PTSD. The very first time I spoke on stage, was May of 2018. And I was beyond terrified, but I proved to myself by stepping up and doing it anyway. I even had a brain fart, middle of my conversation where I'm sitting up on stage for like a minute forgetting what I said, but the whole crowd just cheered so loud that I was just like, you know what? I'm going right back into this. And I dove right back in, and I ended up finishing what I needed to.
That's so cool.
You know, because one thing I didn't mention, and I don't like to bring it up because it's usually like people make it's like, oh, we'll feel bad for you for it. But one of the injuries that I sustained was a TBI from an IED. I have a 3-inch scar on my brain that actually doctors told me I would have cognitive issues for the rest of my life. And that's a story I had to rewrite for myself in order to kind of even be able to communicate and read and do the things on the level I do today.
Wow.
So yeah, it's very new. And you know, I've been very fortunate now to be able to actually take it on tour and speak in other countries.
Amazing. So, so you invented or reinvented yourself, if you will, coming off of the pharmaceuticals. And we all know we have some people on here like Beth, who's like committed her life to helping people come off of addictions of different types of drugs. So there's a lot of movement in that world. So I get exactly what you're saying, which means, again, I keep saying this, you guys, if you're watching this saying, oh, he's special because he's got a beard and he wears a hat and, you know, he went to the army, so of course he can do it. I'm telling you guys, anybody can do it. You just got to have the fight. So if you guys are listening to him, what he has right now, what's showing up is a fight. He's not stopping. He's not giving up. He's going to change the world. And that's the energy you get from him. So together, I keep saying this, together we can help so many people. So with that said, today, obviously, we're going to fast forward to HempWorks, My Daily Choice. Tell me about, because you sort of covered the purity of our products. Let's go into the comp plan, because for me, the comp plan is one of the most amazing comp plans on the planet today, or even ever. So let's go there a minute. What's your excitement around the comp plan of how we get paid?
Well, first off, coming from, you know, I've been in the industry now, network marketing. This is my very first network marketing company, but I've done affiliate marketing in the past, and I've seen other structures. And first of all, the one thing I love here is that you can win quickly as a new person. You can get points on the board quickly following the system. That's it. I have people on my team right now, and no income disclosure. Obviously, everything is different for everybody, but I've got people on my team right now who literally have never marketed or done a business a day of their life, and they're getting their first sale within the first 4 days of them signing up.
Amazing.
And it's literally because they have a system that if they follow it, they get results. Bam. And I love that about here, because then they get that first paycheck that following Thursday, and they're in the game. They've got they understand what it's like, and they get that fire in their gut. I love that.
That's
and
good.
Then obviously the next thing I love is how it compounds on itself. It's engineered for me to grow, for me to make the impact and help the people I want to help in the world. I also have to help my team help people. I'm incentivized and encouraged to help them grow, because then I grow. And so what I love about this that, you know, I don't really see in other places is that the camaraderie and the support that we have. Like, you know, Aaron Parker, the Parkers are a great example of this in the power team, right? Yep. They're way disconnected from me on the power line, but yet they are one of the biggest influences on my education, on everything I do. And I believe that's just a small like glimpse inside of the level of support and community that we have here. That really, I mean, I don't know if it's strictly because of the comp plan, because I know there's a lot of great hearts in this company. Oh yeah, but it definitely helps that, you know, everyone's constantly reaching down and giving back, because it helps us all lift up. And I think that's really nice too.
You mentioned something very powerful. In most sales environments, whether it's a network marketing company or affiliate or, you know, typical business out there, typically what happens is there are quotas. Like there's a benchmark. So in order for you to get paid, in order for you to get a paycheck, you got to do blah, blah, blah. Like there's always something to do. You got to achieve a certain number, or you got to hit this thing, or you got to have so many people on your team before you get paid. So what Christopher just said is gold. And this is why what we have globally is changing so many lives. So like today we have team members, I don't know about in every single country in the world, but I think we're close. And that's what's exciting. But check this out. What he just said is this magic right here. Anybody can sign up as an affiliate with us, with HempWorks, My Daily Choice, make a sale. meaning they can sell a bottle of oil or a bottle of shampoo, because we have shampoo too. It's really cool. Or dog treats or bath bombs, whatever. And guess what? Next Thursday, they get paid. That's all you got to do. You got to become an active affiliate with us. Make a sale. Next Thursday, money will drop into your bank account or on a prepaid Visa or Bitcoin or nowadays in freaking gold, silver, platinum.
Yeah.
Boom. That's hot.
Yeah.
That right there is hot. So, so tell me about, obviously 5K, you're running to 10K, 25K. Obviously you're here to do big things. What's the magic to, well, let's go back to the system, because I think a lot of people can use what you just said. Like, hey, we have a system, people come in within 4 days, they're making money. So explain to people what that looks like and what that means, that they're not alone. And, you know, I don't have to go figure this out on my own. What does that look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think it all starts with the fact that this company has one of the most robust and effective marketing systems done for you. I think it really starts there. And unlike most companies, they give it to you for free as an affiliate for you to leverage and use. So that's number one. That's one of the beautiful things of the process. But what's really the next magical part is the onboarding process. For most teams, and I can't speak for all of them because I'm only in one, but when I got onboarded, you know, there was a very clear 5 steps I needed to take to get my business set up and make sure I was set up properly.
That's right.
And then from there, it's literally just jumping onto a game plan call with my direct upline, which I do with my team members as well. And once you've set up your business, we can have a serious conversation about what your goals are, what your vision is, and what your next 90-day game plan is going to look like. And then from there, I mean, I have a document that I give my team, and it's just a list of trainings and a list of milestones that they should be looking to hit. And it's just a step-by-step system. If they follow it, they're on their way to 5K. And that's as simple as it is. And I mean, that's, yeah, go ahead.
No. So it's not that hard.
No, I mean, I keep things super simple. And I think that's, you know, one of the reasons why I see great success in my team, and I'm able to achieve great success when I apply myself to things, is that I don't overcomplicate things. I see it for what it is. I see the action steps that are being taken to get results and get success. I see the breadcrumbs and I follow them. And that's basically as simple as it needs to be, guys. It really is.
It really is. And that's actually the magic to duplication, because most people will take the path of least resistance. So if you show them the basic 1, 2, 3, and that's all they got to do is do 1, 2, 3, and then repeat 1, 2, 3, and then repeat again 1, 2, 3. And then once they have a team, they get them to do the 1, 2, 3. Oh my God. All of a sudden, you got a team, you got great income, and you're working from home. I mean, so check this out, because for us, we talk a lot about being able to run your business from your cell phone. Do you have to have an office to do this?
No.
No.
I have one of my teammates that I signed up last month. Does not have a very good living situation for himself right now. He's stuck with his in-laws, has no computer, but yet I think he grew his team by 8 people last month from his cell phone alone, just from his cell phone.
Boom. And that's exactly the point. You can run this business 100% from your cell phone. We now have an app that's amazing. So you can have your prospects in the app. From the app, you can send out the pre-enrollee link, your websites, videos. It's just freaking amazing what Josh and Jenna have done here as far as giving us tools, and which help us make more money, grow teams, etc. So tell me about 2020. Obviously, 2020 is the most different year probably ever. Ever. Right? So everything changed, everything just like, you know, hard left. But with it being what it is, I think we have more people online today than ever before. You know, online sounds like even better than I do as far as like online marketing, all that fun stuff. So what's the opportunity here in 2020?
So I think you hit it on the head too, right? It's like we're having this great awakening right now.
Yeah.
You know, more and more people since March, more and more people are being open to the fact that the job isn't as stable as they once thought.
Bam.
That all of a sudden we're being classified as essential, non-essential, and our values being based by someone else.
Yep.
And I think that more and more people are waking up to that with everything going on. And we've watched a crazy, you know, jump in the amount of people that are getting started in a home-based business.
Yep.
And you know, what I think is really great about what we do is that your value is based upon your own efforts. Bam. And you can show up and do nothing and get no results, or you can show up and run this like a business. Not like if you put as much effort into this as you did the job you had,
That's
you
right.
would blow yourself away with what is possible. And so that's the one thing that I tell, people coming in is that if you treat this like a hobby, as like a side hustle, then that's all it's ever going to be for you. But if you can treat this like a business, like it is, then you will see great results.
Amen.
And I think, that's, yeah.
Yeah, I have a saying: if you treat it like a hobby, it'll cost you like a hobby. If you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business, and that's just magic right there. So, being a business owner. So, how about for somebody that's like never owned a business? They've never had to, like tell themselves to wake up at a certain time, or like, oh, I got to send an email now, or I got to go put on a Facebook Live, or anybody that's never done any kind of a business before, and they've always been told what to do. What's that transition for them of now shit, all of a sudden they're a business owner? Is that a big deal? Is it scary?
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge thing, right? Because now it's based upon your discipline. You have to hold yourself accountable. And, one of the things that I found to be extremely valuable for me was reading, right? Getting getting out of the fantasy fiction realm of reading, because I've always enjoyed a good book, and back into like the actual personal development, education, nonfiction side of things. And, obviously Think and Grow Rich is a classic for a reason.
Amen.
It's led many people on their entrepreneurial journey.
Yep.
And if you haven't read that book, I just recommend you pick it up and give it a read. It'll change your life.
Amen. But
the next thing for me, and again, it's always going to come back to books when it comes to figuring things out and moving forward and restructuring. I started my online journey in October of 2017. In November of 2017, I was introduced to a book called The 12-Week Year. And it teaches you how to do small, almost inconsequential things every day that are so tiny that you can't help but do them, but compound so much that you can't help but hit a massive goal in 90 days.
Interesting.
And it also explains to you how to structure that, how to break it down, how to time block. And one of the things that's in that book that's absolutely amazing is it's the lesson on accountability and the difference between beating yourself up and then making yourself better, right? So if you didn't hit all 10 of your objectives for that day, and maybe you only hit 5, okay, feel that for a second, recognize you came short of your goal.
Right.
But tomorrow, wake up, it's a brand new day. All you got to do is hit 6 tomorrow, and you did better than yesterday, and you're already on the right track.
Nice.
And so that book, The 12-Week Year, was phenomenal for me. I'm super organized even before the military. Military definitely put a little bit more of it into me. But being disciplined, organized, and all these things didn't even benefit me because I didn't understand how to structure my time properly in order to be the most effective business owner, father, husband, and everything else I wanted to be. And that book, I'll tell you right now, is a serious game changer. If you can take it and apply it, it'll change your life.
Are you raising your kids to be entrepreneurs?
I'm raising my kids to be whatever they want, but I am keeping it open to them. My son right now, he understands that when daddy's on the computer, daddy's working. He understands. He correlates computer to income, which is great. I love that.
Oh, yeah.
He has his little young entrepreneur book, little activity book that he does.
Nice.
But, my oldest is only 5. And so when I ask him what he wants to be when he grows up, he's still telling me he wants to be a soldier like daddy was.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And, as much as I think that's amazing, I would never tell him not to serve his country. I hope that he sees that there's other ways to give back, and he doesn't have to follow daddy's footsteps.
Right. Interesting. Is your wife an entrepreneur?
No, my wife is a chemical engineer.
Holy Toledo!
She works for a company called Jacobs, and they do a lot of like subcontracting for like Intel and all those other big guys out there in the semiconductor industry.
Got it. So you guys don't work this business together. This is just you.
No. Yep.
Do you have on your team, do you have couples?
Yes.
That work together?
Yep. I have a couple power couples on there. And then, like I said, my team is very heavy, veteran, military, first responder, people who serve this country, sacrifice for us. That's who I work with a lot.
Amen. Tell me, so let's go back to 2020. Tell me your goals and like what the opportunity is for all the people that are, whether they're stuck at home or they don't want to go back to the job, like give us the understanding of the opportunity, because we just happen to be at home, and how they can literally start shifting up here. Like, hey, I can start a little side business and build that up into something to where I can tell the boss to take a hike. I can tell my old business to go away, etc. So let's go in 2020, regardless of what is going to happen next, riots, no riots, whatever. What's possible in 2020?
Well, anything's possible to start, but
yes,
to actually break it down, we're in a very strange time. But for me, when I look at it, I think we're in a very fortunate time as well, right?
Absolutely.
We're having a reset that we've needed for a long time, which is great.
Yep.
But we also have more time on our hands right now than we've ever had before.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, all I've ever heard from people was, I don't have enough time for that.
Right. That's good.
Well, guess what? You now have enough time for that. And so, just going based on my own personal life and what I've been through, what I was able to do in just 1 year's time, when I set myself afire with passion for what I was going to be doing in that other business, I was able to make $250,000 in 1 year. And I didn't know a thing about marketing, a thing about internet. I could barely use Facebook to keep in touch with people. I learned how to tag people after I started the business.
Wow.
So if I can do that, anybody really can. It just comes down to, how bad do you want a better life?
Bam.
Are you just saying you want it, or do you feel it in your bones that is what you want? Because if it's a passion, if it's something more than just words, you will put in the effort and time to build it. And the more consistent you are in that, the more persistent you are in that, the more results you'll get. And so, 2020, anything is possible, but it really comes down to the individual recognizing it for what it is and applying themselves in any area that they're passionate. It doesn't have to be exactly what we do. It could be anything, but I would tell you to start getting serious about looking inside and figuring out what is it that gets you as excited as I am right now.
Bam.
What gets you this lit up? Because I guarantee you there's some way for you to build an income around it.
That's good. So let's go. So what's your fire? Like right now, you're lit. Where's this coming from?
Place of service. I'm a recovering egotist. I fight every day with pride, with ego, with remaining humble. And I do that by pushing myself even further into service and helping others. So when I get the opportunity to share my life, I share it as transparently and as open book as possible, because I want people to understand that, I've been able to do some pretty amazing things in my life, but I also have failed miserably. Yep. I've also been flat on my face. I've been a junkie. I've been an addict. I've been all sorts of things that could be painted super negative.
Yep.
But I've also been able to overcome these things and bring myself to where I am today. And so for me, it's all about sharing my life, sharing what's possible. And when it comes to this company, I've personally been able to regain my quality of life thanks to, all natural supplements like we have here. And it wasn't really locked in, cemented for me until I started watching it happen right in front of my eyes with my team as well. People calling me up and saying, Chris, thank you so much for turning me on to this. I've never slept this good in my life.
Bam.
I haven't felt normal like this in years. Like, just blows my mind. And that just lights even more of a fire in my gut. Like, how many veterans are out there right now that are stuck on some ridiculous VA treatment plan that's not doing them any good? And if we could just open their eyes to what's possible, let them try this for themselves and see the results, we could change an entire community's healthcare, or well-being.
Absolutely.
Quality of life. And that gets me lit, fired up. So, this vehicle that I'm driving on right now gives me the ability to not only benefit the veterans in their quality of life, but it also gives me a significant income to then turn around and build an education platform for them, so that, if they don't want to do this, they can still build a business around their passion, because I have a skills or a training for them to do that. And that's really what gets me fired up. It's what gets me so passionate. I love helping. because it counteracts the parts of me that I don't want shining.
That's big. So obviously, yeah, for you, it's personal. It's but you found your voice, and that's what's amazing here. We'll sort of like wrap with this this topic. Because you mentioned the products and how they're changing your life and your team. What is your favorite product, and like, or maybe what are your favorite products? What do you love?
Coffee berry.
Okay, yeah,
especially with the cognitive issues that I suffer from.
Okay.
Like I pop one of those, I haven't had a brain fart yet. You know, I'm doing pretty good with it. So I feel like it definitely helps me with my memory, my cognitive ability, my communication. It's a huge one. And then my other favorite would be Relief.
Okay.
Because I am a pretty banged up veteran. So, just putting it on the joints, I have really bad nerve damage in my hands, being able to alleviate any kind of pins and needles or aches and pains and things like that. Those are my two go-tos. And then I love cinnamon. I take cinnamon every day. But that's my trifecta, I call it. That's, the ones I'm taking on a daily basis is my cinnamon and my coffee berry. And then after my morning workout, or if I have a flare up or anything, right to my Relief cream.
Got it. So when he's saying cinnamon, for everybody that's out there that does not know what he's saying, oh, there it is. Okay, cool. So this is our CBD oil that's cinnamon flavored. And then we have, now we have watermelon, lemon, peppermint, cinnamon, of course, and natural. I think that's all of them. But they're amazing. They're all amazing. The flavors are amazing. And the power behind the oils in the CBD space, we have pure oil, American grown, CO2 process, just really clean stuff. And then we have 3 dosages, 500 milligram, 750 milligram. And then of course we call it Big Daddy, 1500 milligram for those that need that punch, depending on, what you have going on, etc. So got it. So let me ask you another question regarding products. Do you give your kids any of the CBD products?
Absolutely. Yeah. So my kids have the gummies, as if that's something that I think that
there you go.
You got to make sure that they're not taking them like they're, Flintstones fruit snacks.
Yeah.
But, one a day is great. My dogs are on the biscuits. Every breathing thing in my house takes CBD.
Well, you got to be a product of the product, obviously, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's genius. Yeah. So what's cool about kids, and again, I'm just having a conversation for anybody watching this, like, hey, is it good for my kids? Is it good for my horse? Is it good for my goat? Mm-hmm. And the answer is yes. We all have what's called a cannabinoid system, and we have a CBD receptor. So these CBD receptors, it's a long story, but they're literally looking for CBD, because we used to get CBDs from our mother's breast milk. Mother's breast milk has CBDs in it. So, and of course we have the receptor, so it was match made in heaven. But then the government said, oh, no, CBD bad, hemp bad, marijuana bad. And all of a sudden, like, we got taken away. And the body started doing all kinds of things and went out of alignment. But now all of a sudden, the last few years, as these things are becoming popular and they're coming back around, we're able to put the body back into alignment by simply introducing or reintroducing CBD. So that's why we have farmers. We have farmers that give CBD products, if you will, to their horses, their cows, their goats. I mean, it's on. Dogs, cats, birds. We have a canary that's on our freaking oil. Mm-hmm. Won't stop talking. Listen. Very cool. Well, dude, this was really, really awesome. It was a pleasure I see you all over the place, but it was really a pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, I was. Are you going to be at North Carolina in September?
Possibly.
Okay. Yeah, I was hoping for a convention to get to meet everybody, but it looks like it's going to be leadership retreat.
Correct. Yeah, we'll see. Depending on where the world is, we're supposed to be in Tuscany at that time, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's either North Carolina or Tuscany, but yeah, we'll see. But either way, I'm sure we'll meet because obviously certain people are supposed to meet, and I actually believe in that. Because you got hundreds of thousands of people in this company, but few connect like this. So I'm excited to meet you one day.
Absolutely, likewise.
Boom. Everybody, drop some comments. I want to know what your biggest takeaway, what your number one nugget was from the one and only Mr. Celeste. Drop that in the comments right now, and drop him a huge thank you for his time and his service, because a badass veteran. in the Army. And today he's out there changing not just his world, but he's changing the lives of a lot of veterans that are suffering with God knows what, but he's there doing his part to get them to a better place. So for that, once again, thank you for your service, but then thank you for your continued service to help your fellow veterans.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother. We'll talk to you very soon. Everybody drop the comments in there about the one and only Mr. Celeste. And, you know, it's amazing that we have people from all over the world and that are able to produce this kind of income, the stories, and just look at him. Look at what he's doing. It's not like, oh, I'm here to get rich. Yeah, of course, the money doesn't suck, but the mission of what he just talked about, of helping vets, changing their world, training them to do something better, maybe getting them off pain meds, maybe getting them off pain, period. What a concept. So his mission is strong. His vision is strong. So when you're clear on the direction of your life and why you're here, what you're supposed to do, come on, right? Can I get an amen? That's what it's about. So once again, another successful edition of the Hempibition show. You guys rock. Any questions you have, go to badasseryfactorybehindme.com, badasseryfactory.com. Drop your email in there. Stay in touch with us. You can get updates from us, etc. Look around our website. We have a bunch of things that can help you today, from courses on stress, anxiety, panic, depression, suicide prevention. Today it's at an all-time high. So anything we can help you with in that world, from group coaching to courses online to one-on-one coaching. We really have it all. Just we're here to help. And of course, CBD, you know what to do on that subject. So thank you all. Drop those comments. We will see you next Thursday. Oh, next Thursday we have a crazy couple out of Idaho, somewhere, Coeur d'Alene. I'm not sure exactly, but somewhere in Idaho. Huge, awesome show for next week. So just stay tuned for that one. And you guys know the rules. Share the heck out of this. Get this information to people that need help today, because the help today is needed more than ever. You see what's happening in the world, and listen, people are just scared. And when fear kicks in, many things happen. We don't take action like we're supposed to in life. Our health is affected. The immune system goes down. So being able to give people hope, like, hey, okay, I can make money. Great. Oh, there are products that can help me with my immune system, with my health, with my whole system, if you will. Then we have solutions, is my point. So share the heck out of this. Get it out there. Pocatello. Okay, Tiffany. Be right. When I say Coeur d'Alene. Anyway, so Ali G and Tiffany Wilson next Thursday, 2 p.m. Pacific. And I'm trying to see if actually Tammy wants to do that interview. And that's something else you guys can drop in the comments. Should Andre interview Tiffany and Ali, or should Tammy interview Tiffany and Ali? Drop that in the comments. See you guys next week. I love you, and thank you for hanging out. See you soon. Peace.